Nintendo Directs are the biggest of kahunas for us Nintendo fans. It's what we dot all of our calendars with, it's what we plan our pre-orders and purchases by, and it's what we look forward to. The kid inside of us just cannot wait for the latest announcement, the newest surprise, and the big General Direct. And last week we talked about how Nintendo is not planning an E3 Direct, that the rumor on the street was that they're sitting out the E3 timeframe because they haven't been able to put a presentation together. Well, today, guess what? We hear from VentureBeat and Jeff Grubb that Nintendo isn't planning any Directs in the future. None. Now, this sounds like catastrophic news, and we're going to go over everything that Jeff Grubb said, but I think it actually may be kind of a good thing, and that sounds super weird. Why would I say that as a massive Nintendo fan, someone who looks forward to and loves these events? Because let's be honest, the Directs are my favorite part of the year. How could it be good if Nintendo isn't planning one, not in June, not in July, maybe not even August? Well, today I'm going to tell you exactly why, because there's other information that I think is going to be exciting. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Smash that like button if you love Directs like I do. They are the best. Whether they come this year or not, they're still the best. It is the highlight of a Nintendo fan's day, week, month, year. Let me know in the comments down below your favorite Direct. What's your favorite Direct moment of all time? I think for me, King K. Rool and Smash is one of them. That is one of my favorites. My reaction was insane, but it was so genuine. I was floored. I was blown away. It's moments like that that make me smile. When Mario capped the T-Rex in Odyssey, perfection. And the whole Switch reveal, that was amazing as well. So many great games. When Smash Bros. Was shown off via the Squid Kids, there's just countless memories that we make in these Directs. And I love what they do, not only for letting us know about a release schedule, but just for our camaraderie as Nintendo fans. So Jeff Grubb is saying we aren't going to have any, which is going to be a big void, a big missing, but Nintendo is smartly giving other companies the green light to announce their games. It says, earlier this month I reported Nintendo isn't planning a Direct for June, and if you want to know why you trust Jeff Grubb, it's because he has said a lot of correct things before. He called the most recent Direct specifically, told everybody, hate me if it's wrong, but I promise it's real. He doubled down even when it wasn't announced, when we expected it to be, and then it true. It was a mini Direct, but it came true. He now says, as an update to that, I'll add that Nintendo isn't planning a Direct at all for now. It's telling development partners not to wait for a Direct, even if they have a big announcement. And here we go. You don't have to wait till the end of the video for the silver lining. Nintendo is telling development partners not to wait for a Direct, even if they have a big announcement. That means at any point, we could get something great. And if you guys have been following along, you know that Jeff Keighley is hosting this whole crazy summer of gaming where he's got different events. Publishers are banding together. EA is hosting their own event. Ubisoft has their own event. We've got a lot of companies on the indie side coming together for shows. Jeff Keighley is going to do his own exclusive things. There's Gamescom later in the year. And these are all going to be digital ways for publishers to reveal some big stuff. Or maybe they decide to go rogue and just do a singular game announcement, demo, live stream. We've seen it in the past work very well. We've seen plenty of games just say, boom, it's coming, right? And we already see hints of this. You know, Cyberpunk has said they're going to have their own day. The Mafia Remaster Remake Trilogy thing is supposed to have its day later this week. And Nintendo has done it themselves by dropping Paper Mario and the Origami King out of nowhere. Grubb also goes on to say that first-party games will continue in the fashion out of Paper Mario and the Origami King. Nintendo is going to replicate that because it was so successful and there was so much hype, and they enjoyed that. They know that they don't have to worry that it's going to get overshadowed because Nintendo is that captivating. And without a Direct, they become even more captivating. So when we look and say, wow, this was freaking incredible. I loved this trailer. It came on Twitter and not in a Direct. Did it lessen anything that it wasn't part of a major presentation? Did it dull your enthusiasm? Did it make your day worse? Would you have been more excited if this was part of a Direct? Or is the idea of not waiting for days and weeks and counting down to the General and hearing rumors and getting hyped and hoping that it gets announced on Tuesday or hoping it gets announced at Wednesday or checking your watch for that 9 a.m. tweet? Is that anticipatory cycle that has driven a lot of us crazy? I mean, go look at Reset Era. Love that site. The obsessiveness, and I was part of it while we were waiting the 200 days. I mean, technically we're still waiting for a General Direct, but it's crazy. People drive themselves crazy. this way. It's unexpected, it just hits, and hopefully you're happy, hopefully you're pumped, hopefully it is a real big surprise. I mean, I know the new Paper Mario was rumored, but it still is a big surprise how good Origami King looks, despite people being concerned. Nintendo dropping a first-party game announcement out of nowhere 2 months away. That's remarkable. And now they've given the green light to development partners to do that wherever they want, right? It doesn't have to be part of a direct. Like 2K, they put forth a great slate with Borderlands Collection, BioShock Collection, and XCOM Collection, and that was part of a mini direct. But going forward, something like that could just show up on 2K's Twitter, or they could just throw the trailer up on their YouTube channel, or they could host a little live stream presentation. It's nice to know that we do not have to wait for a smorgasbord direct to house all of the announcements, but I do want to say, on the other hand, there is a part of me that loves getting hit after hit after hit. Now we won't have that, but you will have more frequent announcements spread out. So it's two sides to the same great coin. I mean, you're getting the value of the coin no matter what, aka you're getting the games no matter what. It's just in the past they were always bundled together, and now in this weird 2020 they're going to be dropped more individually, although publishers still have an opportunity to make a splash. If EA is serious about Switch this year, as they've kind of sort of indicated, although the rumors of a Mass Effect trilogy not being on Switch confound me, but if EA is serious, then they could have a couple of Switch games ready to go at their EA Play event this summer, or Ubisoft with their July event could do the same. Maybe they have a Mario plus Rabbids 2, maybe they have a Zelda plus Rabbids 1, maybe they have a totally original game where they're ready to pump gods and monsters straight into our veins as we wait for Breath of the Wild 2, but that could be a mini direct of sorts. So we are going to still get, I think, some compounded game announcements at these publisher shows that are still sticking to that E3 digital format, and then we'll be blessed with random announcements. And it totally breaks routine of waiting for the big direct or even waiting for the big E3 showcase, but at the same time it breaks the routine of building hope and hype and then not being let down, because if it just shows up out of nowhere, you can't guess it, you can't expect it. The good news is we know we're gonna get it, and I think that's the real trusting moment here is after Paper Mario and the Origami King drop, after we now know that Nintendo is giving the green light to developers to announce their projects, games are clearly there. This isn't a case of like, oh dear, Nintendo has nothing. And if the rumor about Paper Mario is true, the rumor about the Mario remasters is probably true. Nintendo is comfortable releasing with short windows. They did it with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon on the Switch. They're doing it with Paper Mario on the Switch. It sounds like everything is indicating that Pikmin 3 Deluxe is going to be coming soon and will be announced in a similar fashion. But what kind of games would you like to see dropped in this way? I mean, Ubisoft stuff is going to be saved for the summer. EA stuff is going to be saved for the summer. 2K has just blown a humongous slate because PGA Tour is also coming to Switch. That new WWE Battlegrounds is coming to Switch. So they've got a ton out there. What else could there be for Nintendo and the Switch that is stealthily dropped on Twitter or on YouTube? I like to look to Bethesda as a company that could really surprise us with a sneaky Switch announcement. They just dropped Elder Scrolls Blades on the system, and we know that Doom Eternal is waiting in the wings. When will that be released? This is a great example of a game that does not have a date and could just be, boom, hey, guess what? It's coming out next month. In fact, I expect to see a Twitter drop for the Doom Eternal date, since it's not going to be part of a Nintendo Direct. They're no longer beholden to Nintendo's master schedule. They can do what they want. And look, Bethesda supported the system so well, maybe they've got something else. Maybe they've got a smaller title, a downloadable title. Maybe Elder Scrolls Legends will finally see a release on Switch. Square Enix is another major publisher that I could see utilizing this method. They announced that they will not be putting together an E3 presentation, but they do love the Switch. And so maybe we get an announcement from them about a new RPG or a new IP hitting the platform. Capcom similarly. I don't know that they will have their own show in the summer, but they do have some SKUs coming out in 2020. It's going to be a slighter year for that company, but they still should represent on the Switch because they've always done a really good job. I can't possibly predict what it could be because they've really emphasized Mega Man and Resident Evil and Devil May Cry, so where do they go? Obviously, I'm always hoping for an original game, a new title from any of these places that is exclusive to Switch. That's asking for a lot, especially in a year where delays and things might have clouded development, but I think Bethesda, Square, and Capcom are three great places that you could see copying Nintendo's Paper Mario drop, not only in the style of the drop, but also in the shortened hype cycle. I think now that we don't have a big trade show, now that Nintendo doesn't need all these companies to be in sync with them, you could see hype cycles that are squished, which means great for us because we get the games much sooner after seeing them. Now, who could this hurt? Well, indie developers might struggle a bit. I think some of those Nintendo Directs and Indie World showcases were paramount in providing those studios with the platform to share their game with the world. Now, of course, they can use Twitter and YouTube and Twitch just like everybody else, but they don't usually have the same audience, and it's much easier to make a splash when Nintendo is hoisting your game up and maybe even surprise dropping it alongside a Direct to get that fanfare and to build that buzz. So I do think that while this will be fine for companies like EA or Ubisoft, it might hurt some of the smaller developers, which I know Nintendo is very big and keen on keeping them close and ensuring their success. So I also wouldn't be surprised to see Nintendo utilize some of their marketing might to push indie games a bit harder over the next couple of months / the next couple of quarters. Question also that hits my mind is, what if this works well for Nintendo? What if Paper Mario and the Origami King sees a humongous launch week of sales? What if the way that they announced it with a surprise drop, a short hype cycle, and a super cool game benefits Nintendo? What if third-party developers see that, wow, they love having the games in their showcase and not waiting for Nintendo? Wow, they love the freedom to announce and market as they see fit and not waiting for Nintendo, because there is a world where it benefits these games to have their own spotlight rather than being grouped together. I like grouped together because it's a bunch of punches all in a row and you're like, oh my goodness, hit me again, Nintendo. But for the games themselves, I do wonder if we'll see more success out of individualized announcements. And if that's the case, is there a scenario where Directs stop? I think one factor that you have to think about is how long does this pandemic last and how long is it impacting major corporations, especially for Nintendo in Japan? How long is work from home a thing? How hard is it for them to get this under control and return to normalcy? Then there's the factor of how successful are the announcements, the reveals, and the sales without the Directs. But I do think the third factor is Nintendo loves control and they love to be the master of their own ship. So I do not think we are at risk at all of losing Directs. If that's something that makes you fearful, take a deep breath. Even if this goes super well, even if we end up getting a great year of Switch titles, I think Nintendo returns the Direct formula as soon as they can because they love being the bearer of the big news. They love having the fanfare and the showcase and running things kind of an old school way. Look, Nintendo, for all their greatness, their fault is that they're usually a step behind when it comes to things like online and presentations. And while their Directs are actually forward thinking, especially for them, I think they value them enough and like them enough that they will hold on to that template for quite a while. So even if this does somehow get even weirder and wilder, I think Directs will resume at some point. That's my genuine prediction and one that I put a lot of weight in. I just think we're going to see a long period of a different style from Nintendo. That's not a bad thing. As I mentioned, there's a lot of great benefits, and we won't have the big Directs to all get excited for and post the reaction videos and freak out and layer our calendar, but we will get those. You'll just have to make the Directs up in your mind. Like after a couple of weeks announcements, oh, that was kind of a mini Direct. And in the summer, when you see what Ubisoft has to offer and EA, and I'm sure Nintendo will not have a Direct, but they'll have some announcement around the E3 timeframe, and you'll just have to group them together, package them in your own head. Maybe we can get fan trailers. People are doing such a good job with like fan trailers for Animal Crossing, things of that sort. Fan Directs that compile these announcements, put them together, and then you can enjoy that show. It won't be the same, but you will get the same game. So really not much lost at the end of the day. And if it helps these companies keep their workers at home, stay safe, and focus on development and not presentation, I'm all for that. Would you rather have more Directs or more games? Normally that's a weird question to ask and one that doesn't make a lot of sense, but in a year like this, taking months to put together and find a way to formulate a Direct? Is that worth sacrificing, say, getting Paper Mario and the Origami King as soon as we're getting it? I think the answer is absolutely no. But let me know your take in the comments down below. This is going to be cool. Now that Nintendo has greenlit everybody to go with their games, I cannot wait to see what we get. I'll have you guys covered. If you aren't subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, join up so you know exactly when new things are announced. I always cover them. We're streaming now. We're posting Animal Crossing regularly. We've got an awesome Discord server if you'd like to join it. It's called Switch Strong, a fun, happy, positive, amazing place to make some friends, talk Switch games, hang out with me, and have a good time. Also, memberships are available on the channel. You can join up if you want to be a superstar and support in a bigger way. You get custom emoji, you get exclusive videos, and a few other perks as well. So thanks so much for being here. I love you guys so much. Stay safe and stay healthy. Appreciate all your support from the bottom of my heart. Until next time, everybody. We don't have to wait for a direct because there isn't one coming. And that just might be okay. SwitchForce out.